Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Yeah, today I got my Sunday church clothes on today. Yeah, I went to church in all white, symbolically. There's a message in the madness. But let's go. Right thinkers, let's do what we do. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. The numbers looking good. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. Right thinkers' mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers' way of life through a mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. If you tune into my channel, you come here to know thyself. So let's go. That's what I do for you. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. That's okay. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Right thinkers, I'm having fun. This is the book that I'm working out of. For all those who asking, where you get the information from? This book cost me $28. The best $28 I've ever spent. Trust me. This is a wealth of knowledge. It ain't about the value of the book or the cost of the book, but it's the value and importance. That's what's inside the book. That's what I'm giving to you. That's what I do for you. So right thinkers, let's go. Let's talk about, I'm in the next in chapter 2 of the book. It's called entitled Introduction to Ancient Egyptian Culture, Religion, and the Kemetic Tree of Life concept. I'm gonna break it down for you. I thought at one time I didn't get this lesson years ago because I thought it was just maybe anybody interested, but it's good information. I think you should know about it, so I'm gonna give it to you. Let's go. This volume is related to the creation myth of the Anuian theurgy. Anuian theurgy is said to be the first major theological system of ancient Egyptian culture. And it is the earliest known developed religion in human history. When I say original, I mean I'm getting it butter from the duck. I'm not taking no secondhand, hand me down, cut up nonsense. No, I'm giving it to you pure. Okay, drug, I won't give it to you pure. Need to be cut for consumption. For consumption. When it comes to knowledge, I'm giving it to you pure. I don't cut it. That's why I got the white on. Okay. See where I'm going with this? Okay. Here you go. I'm your mama. I'm your daddy. I'm that nigga in the alley. I'm your doctor when you need get some knowledge. Never mind the weed. Let's go. All right. It is based on the tree of life concept of the Anuian theurgy conception of the gods and goddesses. We're going to have a bunch of that. I'm about to break them down for you as we go in my wheelhouse. The goddess of God and goddesses, of the Anuian theurgy. Anuian theurgy is is the mythological description. It's a myth breaking down concepts so that you can understand on how creation came into being. Everybody have a creation story. Everybody have it in the beginning, and nobody was there to know. So it's only a theology. It's only a concept. You can use any one you choose. Trust me. Ain't nobody right or wrong. Why? This is a theology. It's theory, concepts. You don't know until you prove it for yourself. So we all have one, and when you pick, if it works for you, that's the truth. Now, Anuian theology, again, is the mythological description on how creation came in, and based on, watch this, the teachings of ancient Egyptian priesthood in the city of Anu, also called Heliopolis by the Greeks. They renamed everything. I'm so tired of this nonsense. We called it Anu. Oh, it's Heliopolis. No, it's Anu, meaning the first place or the first time. So Heliopolis means something else. Sun. Okay, we know that, but don't give us your words to define what we're telling you. If I tell you my name is Mark and you call me something else, I'm not answering. So that's the concept. I don't like that, and I hate that they've been doing that since forever. And they called it Heliopolis by the ancient Greeks. They ain't ancient either. So sorry about that. Now, the hieroglyphs for the name of the city is like a stem, like a firecracker, okay, a little stem, but I don't know if you can see it. But I'm gonna take you down here. I'm gonna give you the map of Egypt, okay? So right here, the first you see, that's the hieroglyph for the name of Anu up top. And this I'm gonna talk about right here. You see what Egypt is? Now, if you are a Mason, and this is why I got a problem with my Mason brothers. When I was a Mason, I sat in the East 5 years. Dean of Instruction, 15 years. And the whole time I taught because I was told northeast corner is nothing there. It's dark. It's void of knowledge. We was lied to. I went to that dark corner. Why? Because when I was going through my phase of obtaining knowledge in search of truth, I need to go into the dark place, the dark side, okay? They tell you, oh, the dark night is so. If you gonna know yourself, the pyramid is a symbol of having everything under control, earthly and terrestrial, symbolically, meaning up here and here. That's the combination, heart, mind, coherence. But you got to remember and understand this. Who was that? Oh, I forgot my thought process. Oh no! Oh yeah, northeast. They deter you from going there. I went to northeast corner over 35 years ago. I'm still in the northeast corner. I'm teaching more from the northeast corner than I ever did from the east in my Masonic lodge. So I got a problem with having been told nothing's in the northeast corner. Moving on. This one a quick one. I got an issue with you Masonic people too. Not anybody that's got the wrong concept. Anybody that's misinterpreted symbolic meaning and esoteric concepts. I got to expose you. Why? Because y'all been perpetrating fraud for a long time. I don't like that. So moving on. Now, the city of ancient Egypt name shown in hieroglyph. I just showed you that above. Now, it may be transliterated into what? NY or Anu. Again, that's the name of it. It can mean literally what? Place of pillars or place for the first beginning. The mound of creation. The name was usually written, again, in Greek as OV, Ov, or On, and written as what's the Hebrew with this funny letters. They got their own hieroglyphics, Hebrew writings. I know that the Jew Masons, why the letters that they use is Jewish Hebrew letters. That's why. And you got Awon in the biblical Hebrew. The divine hierarchy of the Anuian theurgy is headed by the god Ra. Ra emerged from the primeval ocean, you know the story, and brought forth certain gods and goddesses. Here's where we got to get the concept. These compose creation itself as well as what? The nature. God shows himself through nature and human existence. He's inside us. The spirit that's inside us, same thing in nature, is God. It gives life. And this aspect of the teaching of the Anuian theurgy is treated in detail in this current lecture series I'm about to break down for you on the tree of life of the ancient Egyptians. I gave you the tree of life, the Egyptian, and the Kabbalah. I'm so past that now. Let's get back to what we do. First, we will begin with the introduction of the ancient Egyptian. First, we're going to start with the culture. Then we're going to get to a brief history lesson. And then I'm going to give you the religion. And then we will proceed to discuss the tree of life aspects of the Anuian theurgy, which is the earliest aspect tradition of ancient Egyptian religion. We are the originators, not the Sumerians, not the Anunnaki, all that nonsense. Us. Moving on. So we ain't gonna have that conversation. I just try to give you the map of it. I'm looking at the map down here. Is the question is, who are the ancient Egyptians, and where is the land of Egypt? Archaeologists or Egyptologists from the 60s, when Dr. Ben was working over at Cornell University, they sent them to Egypt, 20 of them. Dr. Ben was only black one. All the rest of the guys went over there, stole artifacts and jewels and whatever they can get their hands on. But Dr. Ben went and ingratiated himself to the people. So he learned the truth, got the truth, and brought it back. They fired him because his truth was different than the lies that they told from the white guys. So they lied. He got fired for telling the truth. This has been going on a long time. Okay, everybody who do right, I'm living fact. Now that I'm trying to do the right thing, I'm mocked and scorned and ridiculed. When I was doing that nonsense, they loved me. I was the man. So I know firsthand about that nonsense. So when you try to do the right thing, there's always going to be somebody that's going to try to bring you down for doing the right thing. Really? I'm fighting that issue right now, but moving on. I'm still teaching my philosophical concepts. I ain't got time to rant and rave about who doing this. No, I ain't got time for that. I'm just teaching. Let's go. That's what I do for you. I won't have to be worried about getting shut down, stressing out. I just teach right thing philosophy. Let's go. Let me do what I do for you. Now, where we at? Okay, the head guy, Rod. Now, he composed the creation, and now, first we will begin with the introduction of the culture. Now, I'm down here with the map of Africa, showing the location of the land that we call Tamari or Kemet, also shown in ancient Egypt. Okay, but you see, it's in the higher upper left-hand corner, or the right-hand corner, excuse me, and that's considered the northeast, right? Now, in Masonic order, we know the sun rises in the east, and we have traveling men. We traveling east, to gain knowledge. That's where the light is. That's where the information knowledge comes from. If you're the master lodge, you sit where? In the east. You're the dispenser of knowledge. If you're in the house and you're sitting in the east, you should be the smartest person in the house. You have past masters who also have your knowledge, hence because they did it. So they have a little extra. That's what they back there for, to help you out. But if you are the worship master, you should be a master of the craft, and more importantly, of yourself. A lot of guys master the craft, they too good with themselves. We teach you to master self first. That's knowing thyself. So if you, ancient times, if you were in charge of anything, in charge of judging, if you didn't pass the Mayat philosophical concept, you couldn't be in charge of nobody. Why? You can't control yourself. That's why. So a lot different now. Moving on. Let me get this little map thing going. Why? Because I'm about to move on to break down the culture. The ancient Egyptians were descendants of Nubians. The only group of people in Africa that haven't been colonized by the white man is the Ethiopians. Okay? And the Nubians, they called the Bow people. Why? They ain't the ones. You couldn't get close enough to them. Why? They had the bow and arrow for defense. And they was good and proficient at it, hence the Bow people. Okay. But that's the Nubians, we descendants of them who had themselves originated, watch this, from further south into the heart of Africa at the Great Lakes region, the sources of the Nile River. Okay? These ancient Egyptian people called their land Kemet. And before that, Akibalan, if you want to get technical, okay? But we keep using the definition that the Greeks used for some reason. They tell you about everything, but they didn't make or create nothing. Moving on, I keep getting caught up in my little Richard mode. And, all right, Kemet is how it's spelled. Some people spell it a few different ways, but that's it. And soon after developed a well-ordered society. And I keep trying to break down, trying to let my people know the reason why I went to Egypt in search of the truth. Okay, when I got there, I wanted to know what was they doing for 4,000 years that they lived in harmony as a society with each other. You ready? Mayat. That's why I bring Mayat. Why? If you practice Mayat, and if other people started practicing Mayat, we'll see a difference. If we still become religious and don't practice that belief system, we're never going to come together. That's just a concept that I come up with and I understand. So my philosophy ain't no different. It just holds you accountable to do what you need to do for yourself. That's all. Moving on. Now, a well-ordered society, and it was based on, you ready? The concept of cosmic, ethic, and spiritual conscious, spelled CONSCIENCE. Man, it's been scientifically understood and proven to work, and we call that Maya philosophy. When you can have a race of people, a group of people, a society living in harmony off your views and your value, why would you stop doing that? And everybody that came in and took over us, let us do one thing: continue to live our religious philosophy. Why? Because it worked and it was good. And everybody took a part of it and used it and made it theirs, which is fine, okay. But the worst thing is they didn't get a respect to us for doing so. That's all I'm saying. We know all this about us, but everybody don't know that. Okay, I'm still an Egyptian. Why? Because the way I think and feel and act, I follow the philosophy that they did. My God, I lived this. I didn't make it up. I didn't create it. I just tweaked it a little bit. Okay, modernize it like Ted Turner did, black and white, colorized. All right, but I'm making it useful again. Why? It never stopped being. They just stopped using it. That's why I was placed among the seekers of the pyramids. I went there. I've done that. I got it. I just teach it a little different. I see other people expressing their views. I ain't that type of dude. So my thing is I'm going to teach you, not beat up on other people to prove. Nuh-uh, I don't use them. I use what I got right here. My knowledge, information, facts. Let's go. Now, the ancient Egyptians lived, you ready? Thousands of years in the northeast corner of the African continent in the area known as the Nile Valley. The Nile River was the source of dependable enrichment for the land, and it allowed them to prosper for a very long time without the harsh struggles experienced by who? Other people in other geographical locations, such as the desert regions and even Asia Minor and the temperate zones of East Asia and even Western Asia and Europe. We had perfect situation for us as a people. So we knew it was given to us by God. Native Americans felt the same way about their land. When the white man came and said, well, how much you want for the land? No, we don't own the land. It's given to us. We just share it. Where they at now? Moving on. That guy, we ain't got to do that. We're talking about the next thing. Moving out, I don't want to go there. I'm trying to avoid that whole concept. But all of those people who lived in temperate weather, bad situations, had to make the adjustment like we do now. Winter, spring, summer, fall, seasonal changes. Okay. In Africa, they didn't have to worry about that. Moving on. And they what? They prosperity. Their prosperity was so great. Watch this. That they created. They were so easy with the land being fertile because the flooding of the Nile, they leave the soot, so natural fertilizer. They didn't spend much time doing that, so they had the time to do what? Create art, culture, okay, religion, philosophy, and create a civilization which surpassed, watch this, at that time, everything that come before. And guess what? We ain't matched it. We ain't come close to that since, and has not been duplicated even to this day. What that say about us? But we claim to be smarter, better, more technical. We ain't even scratched the surface. Why? Because we forget we are spiritual beings. We think we're human beings. Another philosophy that I came up with conceptually. Why? Because our ego tells us that. And we are an ego-driven people until we what? Raise our conscious level. That's what the conscious people are. They are a little better than the what? The egoistic people who, if they're successful on the ego level, they're not going to change. If what they're doing working for them, they're not going to change. So if what you're doing is hurting and causing other people disharm, you shouldn't prosper off that. Most people do. That's the American way. Moving on. But the ancient commissions, Egyptians, they based their government, watch this, the government and business concerns on what? Spiritual values and therefore they enjoyed an orderly society based on that, not greed and me, I, egoistic philosophy, which include, watch this, equality between what? The sexes. We are male chauvinists. Women got to be subservient to men. Says who? The man. Yeah, naturally, you will make that damn law. But being fair don't come to mind. Being equal don't come to mind. That's how it was. Y'all changed it. Why? You wanted it your way. Sorry about that. But I got a problem with that. I'm not a male chauvinist. And between the sexes, and watch this, and a legal system which was based on, you ready? Universal spiritual laws that they call Maya philosophy. Ding, 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 ding. That's what got me into Egypt philosophy. That's what got me to living and doing right thing philosophy. Why? I like that philosophy. It works for every individual who practices the 42 negative confession laws of Maya in their personal life. Come different people. If you go to church, practice the Ten Commandments, and live, you become a different person. So whatever philosophical concept that you adopt and practice, it will work if you work it. I have nothing against nobody's religion, because if it's done right, it do work. That's the intent. I understand that. So I won't get caught up in that, but that's the idea. We use Maya, our ancient ancestors, like he said, but they used it and they were successful as a society for thousands of years. We can't get together for 10 minutes without going stupid. Sorry. But let's talk about that. And this is why you see me every day. Every day. Just like y'all give Amen his praise after every prayer, I do that too. But I also give Maya hers on a daily basis also. Don't forget it. Again, equanimity, equal balance. Maya is just as important as Amen when you look at the principles, what they stand for. Moving on. Now, we have the Egyptian mystery system. The mystery to what we did was to the outsiders, like Masonic secrets ain't a mystery to me. I know the handshakes, I know the password, I know how to move and groove and get around. That's what we do it for. If everybody worked right here with the Masonic, it wouldn't be worth nothing. The value goes down. Okay. And when I was coming up, to be one, you had to ask one. Now they're soliciting. You want to be a Mason? That to me, I will never do that. I would never solicit a right thinker. I would never solicit somebody joining the order. I would never solicit churchgoers. None of that. Why? That ain't what I do. If that's your choice, that's your choice. If you see me doing something and you want to do it, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll show you how I'm doing it. I ain't trying to convert you to nothing. I'm just trying to enlighten you to what you need to know, which is yourself. Let's go. That's what I do. But the ancient Egyptian mystery system was given is a tribute to what? To their history and their culture and their legacy. Because once they started getting invaded, and I'm going to get to that too, they did not give up what? Their secrets. So hence, this mystery system, they don't tell them what it is. Good. Now, as historical insights unfolded, it becomes clearer what? That modern culture has derived what? Its basis from ancient Egypt. We've been knowing that. No, we didn't. We didn't copy it. Man, shut up. I said, excuse me. But through the credit, though the credit, watch this, is not often given. That's my problem right there with the Greeks started with them. Nor the integrity or the respect of the practice maintained in the new religions don't hold it accountable. This is another important reason to study what? Ancient Egyptian philosophy, and to discover what? The principles which allowed their civilization to prosper over a period of 4,000 years in order to bring our system to government, religion, and social structures to a harmony with ourselves, humanity, and with nature. They had every base covered because they kept their spiritual values and understanding, spiritual discipline, serving their higher self, not their ego self. That's always been their claim to fame. Almost home. Gotta see the clock. All right, let me read the next lesson. I got one more paragraph here. But the flow of the Nile Valley brought the annual flood to the valley Nile Valley people, and what? It provided irrigation and new soil nutrients, what? Every year. There was never a drought. They never went 7 years without none of that. No, we don't have that problem. Okay. Every year that allowed for what? Regular crops when worked on time, which they understood. When you put it down, you know when to take it up. Why? You know when the flood comes, they got to be gone. Why? New stuff coming in. So this regularity and the balance with nature inspired the population to what? Adapt a culture of what? Order and duty. Excuse me. Based on, what, you ready? Cosmic law, not man law, not belief, principle, okay? In cosmic order, what they call Maya. I love it. This idea extends the understanding of, you ready? Divine justice, not man's justice, divine justice. And my favorite one, you ready? Reciprocity. If you don't know what that means, Google it. But that's what it's supposed to be. It's a give and take. You breathe in, breathe out. That's reciprocity. You can't do it one way. You just can't have one thing. You need two things. How about this? The infinity sign, that's fine for reciprocity. Why? Infinity, it goes both ways, gives and takes. That's the idea. That's the concept with the Maya philosophy. Back then, they called it divine. So watch this. So if work is performed on time, watch this, and in cooperation with what? Nature. You can't control nature, but you can work with it, and she will give you anything you need. And there will be order and, you ready? Balance and hotep, aka peace, as well as prosperity in life. When you do certain things the right way, a quick lesson. Only two things. You got blessings, you got karma. Everybody know karma. Everybody want the blessing. But if the things that you do, your IRE will determine what you get. Understand that. You reap what you sow. Come on now. So your reap is your action, your IRE, what you do. If what you're doing is good, you get blessed. If what you're doing is not good, you get the visit from karma. That's God's hitman or hitwoman. Why? She bring you what you deserve. And everybody say about karma, she's a bitch. Yeah, but that's cause you caused it. So don't cuss karma, cuss yourself. Moving on, let me wrap this up. I see I'm running out of time. Where am I down here? Okay. Oh, Maya. And this idea extends, okay. It also keeps balance and peace as well as prosperity in life, but for the individual, not just for the individual, but the family and the community. Everybody benefits when they all do the right thing and work together. I'm doing a thing with my church next week in the community to mentor young brothers. I'm going to be right there in the front line. I talk it, I'm going to walk it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. That's what you do, okay? All the jibber, jibber, jibber. No, what you doing? I get on the front line, I'm a streetwalker. Excuse me. Kemet, Egypt is located in the northeastern corner of the continent of Africa, and it is composed of what? Towns along the banks of the Hapi, Hapi. That was the god of the Nile Valley, Nile River. They call it Hapi. So they call the river Hapi. It's the Nile Valley. But in the north, there is the Nile Delta region where the river contracts the Mediterranean Sea. That's what it runs into. This part is referred to as the north. Why? Because it's the lower Egypt. Lower because that is the lowest elevation and the river flows from the south to north. Again, the middle of the country is referred to as Middle Egypt. Okay, the south is referred to Upper Egypt because it is the higher elevation and the river flows from there to the north. So from up to down. River don't flow uphill, it got to flow down. So south is up, north has got to be down. Simple. They didn't fight. They didn't make a bunch of nonsense about it. Western civilization, they got it backwards. No, they understood fully well what's going on. Y'all just being hard-headed again, making it what you want it to be. Subjective listeners never get it right. Let's go. So when you're doing the right thing, we at now this part. No, okay, where we at? So where we at down here? So the south is referred to the up because again higher elevation and flows from there to the north. The south is older, is the older region and the dynastic civilization, and the middle, the north are later. So they work their way down. That's the lesson for right now. Why I'm about to give you a brief history of the Egyptian concept. So that was the lesson. I see it took me a half hour. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Try to give it to you best I can where you can understand it and use it for it's intended for you to know thyself. These are all lessons geared to do just that. And right thinkers, in closing, may you all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'll be right back.